Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Few weeks ago, I have created a video in which I have shown you how you can use sphere of influence, body of influence and influence volume to refine your mesh. In that example, I have used this shape to demonstrate all three techniques. In this video, I will discuss other settings of meshing which you can use to refine your mesh locally. So let's get started. To demonstrate local refinement setting, I have made some changes in this body. Let's see different mesh setting what we can use. Whenever I come to meshing, first of all, I always create mesh by default parameters. It just gives me a rough mesh what I have in my body. This mesh is quite coarse. Let's see what we got. When you come into the meshing, we will go all those parameters one by one. So first of all, you can select CFD fluent, then element order is linear. You can use linear or quadratic. When you use linear, it means there is no intermediate node in your element. You have one node over here and next node over here, and it is linear. When you will use this in simulation, all fields will be calculated on those nodes. When you will use quadratic, they will add another node at the center of each edge. It means you will have more nodes and you need more computational power. So when you have coarse mesh, then you can use quadratic, but for fine mesh, linear is fine and it is computationally less expensive. As well as when you have straight surface, then it is good to have a linear. When you have a curved surface, you can switch to quadratic. I mean, quadratic will give you another node. It means you get further resolution in your elements. Then you have element size. By default, it is 5.5 millimeter. Here you can choose element size of your mesh. The mesher will try to achieve this element size into entire body. It is not guaranteed, but that is kind of a reference. Let's do generate mesh and you can see it has refined. This one you can use to refine your mesh overall. Now here is the growth rate. Growth rate means if you have a fine mesh, how much is the difference in element size from one element to next element. So it means the growth rate is 20%. If one element is, let's say, 1 millimeter, the next cannot be greater than 1.2 millimeter. That's what growth rate means. So you should not have growth rate much higher. 1.2 is fine. You can use lower 1.1. It means it will be smooth transition as you will reduce the growth rate, and the recommended setting is 1.2. Then we have maximum size. So here we have element size. It is the size which measure tries to achieve, but that is just a guidance. But the maximum element size, somewhere the element size are not exactly the 3, but that could be little bit bigger than that. But in any case, the element size anywhere in the meshing does not exceed this setting. So it means the maximum size could be equal to or greater than element size, but it cannot lower than this. Let's try to set 2. It should not accept. I can set it maximum 3. That's fine. So 6 is okay. Important is element size. Then defeaturing size. Defeaturing size is the smallest element that we can have in our meshing. In this case is 0.015 millimeter. Any element size which will be less than this one, it will merge into the neighboring elements. This feature controls the minimum element size. You cannot have the infinitely finer mesh, it doesn't make sense. Then capture curvature. Capture curvature, yes. Whenever we say capture curvature or we have this curvature surface, then it is good to have this capture curvature. And here we have curvature normal angle. Curvature normal angle is the angle between the surface normal between two adjacent elements. Let's say we have one normal vector of this element, one normal vector of this element, and the angle between them is the curvature normal angle 18. It means if I will have a bigger angle, it will indicate I can use bigger element, or on the overall curvature I can have fewer number of elements. If I want to refine my curvature, I can reduce this size. Let's put it 12 and you will see this surface will become finer. Okay, still with this one is didn't change. Let's put it 8 and see. It means the angle is already very small and it is not changing. And here you can see it is changing over here. Let's see for this surface. If I say 18, here you can see the impact of this curvature angle. It was 18. Now let's refine this one and put it 8. So now it has adjusted these element size so that the angle between curvature normal is not greater than 8 degree, and that's how you can control your mesh on curvature surface. Anyway, then we have capture proximity. It is no proximity mean a narrow gap. For example, that's why I had created these three gaps over here. This gap is 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter. Right now we are not catching any proximity. We can say yes. When you do that, we get two parameters. One is the proximity minimum size. The minimum size between proximity, it will check any narrow surface and try to satisfy these conditions. It will try to have the element size not smaller than this one, and it will try to fit at least these number of elements. If it will be smaller than this one, it will try to fit lesser, but if it will be greater than this one, it will try to fit at least 3 elements. So let's go with these settings and say generate mesh. You can see here we have at least 3 elements, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. It has fit 3 elements between any narrow gap. If we say 5, it will try to fit 5 as long as element size does not go smaller than this one. Now you can see we have 5 elements. So it will try to satisfy these two conditions. Then we have here quality, target skewness quality. Here you can also try to reach some quality. Skewness 0.9 is okay. I mean, if you have achieved this one, you will not get any error, or your mesh is considered good enough for your simulation. But you can try to have achieve better one, let's say 0.8. But before that, we can check the skewness. Here you can see the maximum skewness is 0.74 and we had tried to achieve 0.8. Let's try to achieve 0.9. I mean 0.74, it is pretty good. You can run your simulation with this one without any problem. It has achieved 0.79. Normally, to achieve the desired skewness, it will try to refine your mesh. Now it has little bit room up to 0.9, so it has increased the element size little bit, and now skewness is 0.9, but still below our target limit. Anyhow, you can see you can also control your mesh quality. Then we have inflation layers. Use automatic inflation. Yes, for inflation we do not use over here. It is always good idea to have separate inflation layers. That we can do from here. Inflation. In inflation you always select your geometry, then you select your surface. Surface over here, let's say over here and over here, where we want to have our inflation. These surfaces, and now we can generate. We are having 5 layers and we got our inflation layers, 5 layers. Right now we are just using all default setting because I'm not going into the detail of inflation at this stage. I will stop here and we will continue in the next video.